My name is Davies, and I am reading a poem from my book, loud. And basically, this piece is called A New Superhero Called Fartman. The piece was originally done by a man called Howard Stern back in 1992. So it's not an intentional copy, because I didn't realise that somebody had done a piece on Fartman. But this is my own version, and it's based on my IBS, which is flatulence, and I used to laugh about it a lot, so I came up with this piece. A new superhero called Fartman. The wings of a bird riding on hot thermals, the heat and flow of the jet stream is nothing compared to Fartman. He's certainly not silent with his opening titles and rippling theme. Is he a good or bad fellow, with his costume in brown and yellow, a hint of red for the belt, and his initial on his chest? Popeye pops and bulges his muscles like Fartman's bloated combustion, bulging to lift off. His jaw is square like a box. Then, striking a match upon his rough hairy stubble, he squats ready to launch. "Stand back, everyone!" and sets the lit match under. Ignition! Fire sprays from between the haunch, and the smell knocks out his foes, and off the moon he goes. On his return, Fartman has a secret device, the whoopee cushion, that he has stashed behind a pillow. Then from his air-filled body he thunders, "My enemies, I am here! Come and get me if you can." His voice travelled miles from his winded bellow. Some had arrived keen to give Fartman blows. Fists emerge, crack, thump, and wallop, thwack. Fartman tries insisting his foes, sit down, please. We must talk and consider our show." His enemies slowly and gently recline. Then abruptly from the whoopee cushion, the air squeezes through the lips, with a stench of green gas billow. Woof! Windows break and curtains flap. Fartman keels over laughing. Will it whiff in this direction? From the open lit fire, the heat increases, contains and prolongs its linger, hanging in stagnation, just for his foes to hinder. Meanwhile, back at Fartman's house, attached to a giant floating hot air balloon filled with his deadly stench of gas, hovering high up in the air, to avoid his arch-enemy, Dr. Tomb. Dr. Tomb likes everyone to live in a gloom, but if he tries to boom Fartman's floating balloon, it would cause a stinky typhoon that affects only his enemies that stand at loom. In Fartman's kitchen there is many cupboards shelved with an array of stacked tinned beans. As he opens the doors, cabbages roll out and Brussels sprouts for his catapult sling to fire and fling. But if Fartman eats these accessories, then he goes through a state of being flatulent. For an invisible gas bomb rolled and sent, gassing out buildings by sending it through the vent, knocking out the dealings of drug lords, ready to send their pilled and powdered swords to vulnerable youngsters and adults. And if there is any left standing, he just catapults his Brussels sprouts as they shout, "Ah, what a stink!" from Fartman's gassy bout. Furthermore, during a raid under cover in a crowd, Fartman lets one drop. Hopefully it's not too loud. A silencer. They are the worst, rather than a burst. It is a Google bounce. What direction will they smell? But when Dr. Tomb is ready to pounce, he drops like an ounce. Outside, Dr. Tomb's men run for a retreat, but Fartman jumps into his fartmobile, and from the exhaust pipe, he lets it rip up the street, knocking out Dr. Tomb's passing fleet. Thank you very much for listening. That's my book. You can buy it on Amazon, and it's called Loud, and my name is David Davies.